song. The test. Spirit here with another video. For all my new friends joining today, I used to make videos about natural hair, but I decided to make a shift. Now I make videos about my healing journey, self-development, and all things solo. If that sounds interesting to you, make sure you hit that subscribe button for one hell of a ride. And for my A1 day ones, y'all the bestest. Today we're going to be talking about anxiety and depression and just how trash it can be. But before I do, grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and know that you're not alone. One thing for sure is we're figuring this life thing out together. We locked in. We here with it now. We're talking about the deeps of the deeps of the deeps. So y'all can't go anywhere now. Just letting you know. Also important to note, I am not a mental health professional, just a mental health enthusiast, advocate, activist, whatever you would like to call it. Insert fitting adjective here. What works best for me may not work for you. And so that's why it's really important to find a mental health professional that knows your background and what's going on in your life so that they can find a suitable action plan or treatment plan for you. So I started to realize my symptoms of anxiety as early as 8th grade. And as soon as I got to 9th grade, I definitely started to notice some symptoms of depression. They were never at the same time. It was usually one anxiety wave followed by a depression wave. It was never anxiety and depression at the same time. Until my junior year of high school, something happened that I'm not really ready to talk about on camera yet, but if you followed my old Twitter account, you probably know what I'm referring to. Junior year of high school is when my anxiety and depression decided they were going to marry each other and just give me everything it had. And I was fighting for my life ever since. By sometime in college, I felt like I had tried everything. I already grew up in a religious household, so I was going to church regularly. Didn't feel like that was making a difference. I was going on walks, I was journaling, I was doing yoga, I was doing meditation. I was doing the combination of everything I just mentioned and then some. None of the combinations that I was trying worked for me. When society talks about anxiety and depression, it doesn't take long before the topic of medication to come up, right? And I personally try to avoid medication for as long as possible because I was someone who grew up with a lot more responsibilities than I wanted. I didn't want to add one more thing, which would have been taking medication. So I thought if I just found the right combination for me, if I just prayed hard enough, if I just surrounded myself with the right groups of people, maybe I would find the right thing for me to the point where I wouldn't have to take medication. But then 2023 came along and I hit a new low that I didn't know I could hit. If I reached a new low early in the year, I am oh so excited about what the rest of the year has to offer. With my brothers checking up on me, they really wanted to know how they could help me. And that's the thing. I don't even know how to ask for help, not just with family, but with friends, intimate relationships, work. That's something that I'm having a hard time doing, but I've been opening myself more up to. We like to think of the mantra, work smarter, not harder. Sometimes asking for help is the smartest thing to do. Even if we're not comfortable with it, it may seem hard because of that, but it's really not. And that's something that I'm constantly working with myself to acknowledge and to remember. But my brothers asked how they can help, and I at that point I was pretty much desperate to start feeling like myself again. And I told them I think I'm at a point where I need to start taking medication. I need to start seeing the right professionals to make that happen because the thoughts that I'm having and the steps that I'm taking are scary. And I feel really alone, even though I know I'm not. My friends tend to give me that space, knowing that I'll be back, and then when I come back, they welcome me with open arms. And that used to work, except now with where I am, I don't know how to ask for help, and I'm feeling really lonely, and I kind of need someone to pull me out of that funk from time to time. And I say need very loosely. They don't need to do anything, right? They don't owe me anything. So I don't even blame them for not really knowing how bad it was for me mentally. I don't blame them for not being there in the moments I isolated myself. In a way, I think it's definitely necessary for me to be alone or for people to have their seasons of isolation as long as you know how to pull yourself out. And I'm in the stage learning how to pull myself out, but also in a stage of being vulnerable enough to let the people closest to me help me out as well. Definitely easier said than done. There is no steady blueprint of what that looks like. It's going to look different for everyone. 2022 was all about trying new things for me, and it didn't stop there. It definitely continues this year in 2023. And for me personally, that means starting medication. Very scary. Tomorrow will officially mark 3 weeks of me starting Zoloft, and I am starting to see changes for the better. Enough for me to be like, dang, I should have started it sooner. Anxiety and depression, again, is really tough, and it takes a lot of courage to be vulnerable enough to let others help you. But you don't have to do everything yourself. And this is that friendly reminder. Start showing up for yourself. Start doing what you need to do for you. And if the idea is to possibly start taking medication one day, don't worry about that negative stigma that is there, because the ones that get it. And the ones that don't. I'll let you know right now, you have at least one supporter from me, and I'm always going to be rooting for you. I hope you're there for yourself, and I'll see you all in my next video. Ciao.